Hey guys, what is up? It is Bibs7 here again, and welcome to another RuneScape 3 video here today. In this video, I'm going to be going over the RuneScape Ahead that just concluded, along with a new roadmap that has been dropped. I'm going to be talking about the information they revealed and talked about on the video, and just giving my thoughts on everything that was revealed. It is quite a lot of information, honestly, a lot of stuff that I wasn't really expecting as much, especially to come out so quickly, namely the 110 skills. There's so many of those coming in quite a brief time span compared to past skill level cap increases, so I think that's pretty cool to see. I'm just going to be doing this herblore here in this video, just making some super strengths, so nothing really to see on the screen too much. But if you want to see the roadmap, it is of course just on the RuneScape website. If you want to pull it up and haven't seen it yourself, I would just recommend going over to RuneScape homepage, and it is right there, the first post. So just check it out there if you're interested. But yeah, first they gave a little bit more information on things that were already known for the roadmap for the rest of this year. First off, we got, I don't know if this was known before, but it was the first I heard of it. We got the name of the new skilling boss, which is confirmed to be coming out next month in September. It's called the Gate of Elidinus. I'm pretty sure that's how you say it. I think they didn't say it right in their video. A lot of people said Elidnus, but there is another I after the D, Elidinus. I don't know. Don't sue me. Anyway, that's the name of the skilling boss. They really didn't give much information about it, but there's also going to be a new story quest called the Ode of the Devourer, which is going to be coming out early next month, and then late next month will be the actual skilling boss launch. So there's going to be two kind of bigger updates next month, with the quest first and then the skilling boss actual release. So I'm really looking forward to that. It's going to be really, really fun to be able to solo a skilling boss viably. That is something I'm really looking forward to. I personally really love the complex skilling content in the game. I'm a huge fan of Big Game Hunter. I really enjoy doing Croesus, but it's kind of a hassle to get a group. But this sounds like it's going to be perfect, and I'm really looking forward to jumping into that. They didn't really give any details on drops or pretty much anything, so that's probably going to be coming soon, in a news post separately. But there's also on the roadmap a little thing underneath that says there's going to be a launch event called the Gate of Elidinus Hunt, and they didn't talk about that at all. They didn't even mention that. It's just on the roadmap, so who knows what that's going to entail, but there's some sort of event to come along with the release. Then for October/November, they didn't really confirm any other exact dates outside of the September release for the skilling boss. But October, November, we have Group Iron Man, of course, coming, which I am really looking forward to, but I'm going to be waiting for hardcore mode to be available, and I'm not sure what the timeline is on that happening. So yeah, but that is coming. And it sounds like they're doing it right. Obviously, augmentable items are going to be available. And importantly, they didn't say anything about having to push it back in this. So it seems like it's actually going to be coming out. So they are delivering on their original roadmap, which is very good to see, especially because they've now expanded it. And hopefully this continues in perpetuity, because it's a fantastic amount of communication. But yeah, nothing really new in terms of information about Group Iron Man. As far as I could tell, there was obviously that big news post that had a bunch of information about it already, the right-click examine. So if you wanted more info, you probably could get it there. They showed the Harvest Hollow Halloween event hub, some screenshots of concept art and things like that. It honestly looks pretty cool. I'm looking forward to going there. I actually didn't do the Easter event, so the only event hub I've seen so far was the Christmas one, which I think was overall good already. So I'm really looking forward to seeing what they do with the Halloween one. I saw in one of the pictures there was a Pumpkinhead Solok, which looked really cool. It was just like Solok with a jack-o'-lantern for a head. So I wonder if that's going to actually be in the game. It'd be really cool if you get like a pet reskin with that or something. But yeah, the Halloween event hub looks cool, and it's going to have this, of course, the seasonal quest tied to it. So I like the way they're doing events now with these event hubs that are going to be updated as the years go on. It saves them a lot of time once they've, obviously, this is laying the groundwork, creating these event hubs, and then they'll be able to reuse them as years go on and just add slightly to them, which I think is a good approach. Also in October, November timeframe, we're going to be getting the 4th Necromancy Conjure, which is going to be called the Phantom Guardian, which has obviously been in a lot of the Necromancy screenshots and promo stuff. We've known that this is coming, but that confirms the name of it, and I'm really interested to find out what this actually does, because Necromancy with the Ghost already has a ton of sustain and healing, and just the name of it being a Guardian maybe makes you think it would be a defensive type thing, but again, we really have no information aside from that it is coming, and we'll see what that entails. They also didn't really say how you're going to get it at all, really. So I'm not sure if it's just going to be available, like dropped onto the talent tree, or you're going to have to do something special to get it. But it sounded like there's not going to be like a codex or anything in that department, so it might just be available, which is interesting. Additionally, in this same October-November timeframe, there's going to be a new Slayer monster, which will drop the Necromancy Slayer Helm upgrade, similar to the Focus Sight and Hex Crest for range and magic, and of course the Black Mask is the one that is for melee. I'm not sure if it's going to be a new Strike Worm. I mean, that would obviously make sense because the other two are from Strike Worms, the Focus Sight and the Hex Crest, but I don't know. Strike Worms are, there's already, what, 3 types of them? I think ice, jungle. Oh no, there's 4: ice, jungle, desert, and lava. So I don't know if they'd add another one of those or it's going to be completely new, but that's cool. Looking forward to being able to get that and even further increasing the power of necromancy when you're on a Slayer task. So yeah, overall, not a ton of new information in that section. The screenshots of the event hub, though, were pretty cool. Moving on now to the November-December timeframe. We have a new story quest. They've given a bit more information about that. We knew there was going to be a new story quest coming, but this one is preemptively, or I guess tentatively titled Desert Quest 1. So it's going to be jumping back into the Desert Quest storyline and series and stuff. It was said that we have unfinished business with a Amasket, and that's going to be what this starts getting into. It's going to require all other Desert Quests up to and including Fight Club. So if you haven't done that, make sure you do it if you want to give this new quest a shot. But that's going to be pretty cool. I think they could do a good job with the Desert Quests and picking back up on them. Some of them weren't my favorite quests in the game, but I think the Menaphos quests were overall not too bad, and I'm interested to see where they take the storyline. Additionally, in this same, again, November-December timeframe, there's going to be 110 woodcutting and fletching, and I was surprised that this was coming so soon. I think it might have been on the roadmap earlier, but I don't know. I just, for some reason, didn't realize how quickly they were going to be doing these 110s, because as you'll see, part of the new reveals includes 2 more 110 skills. So they're really going through these quickly, and I think that's cool. I'm really looking forward to all the new content that these skill level increases are going to come with. And they didn't say a ton of information, but they did give some pretty interesting little teasers and drops and stuff. There's going to be a new tree, obviously, new hatchet, a tier 100 bow, and a masterwork bow, which I was really interested to hear about. So I'm curious to see how that is made and how strong it is, if it has any passive. Hopefully they learn from the 110 mining and smithing update. I still like the update, and I've heard a lot of people are pretty disappointed with it. For me, it's fine. I think it's a good expansion of the skills, but it's nothing like groundbreaking or earth-shattering necessarily about how the skills are working. But it still is a good update, and I'm just hoping that with this 110 woodcutting and fletching, hopefully they go with maybe a bit of an interesting passive or some sort of better thing than it just being a tier 100 bow. But who knows? Maybe they won't, because obviously we already have the Bow of the Last Guardian, which can be upgraded to tier 100, and do they really want to put something that's going to contend with that from skilling? Maybe not. I don't know. But still, really, really cool. Looking forward to that as well, and interested to see what the new tree is going to be, called and look like and everything, and where it's going to be placed. It'll be pretty cool. Also, of course, in December, we will have the return to the Christmas Village, and there will be an additional seasonal quest added on to that. This is the only event hub I've played so far, so I'm looking forward to the return of that. And of course, you're going to have a chance once again to get your hands on the Black Party Hat if you are super duper lucky. So I'll be going for that as well. And now we move on to the brand new stuff that's going to be starting in 2025. And this, they said, was in no particular order, but I mean, it is on the roadmap in a certain order, so I'm not sure if that's true or not, but it seems like these are most likely going to be in this order. So basically early 2025, or the first thing on the roadmap for 2025, we already have 110 rune crafting. So yeah, I mean, already there's going to be another 110 skill, and it's going to be rune crafting, which is really interesting. Going to be, they didn't give any information about it. The rest of the updates that are for 2025 were very high level vague, but 110 rune crafting sounds like it's going to be cool. Probably there's going to be a new type of rune. I mean, almost certainly, right? And I wonder what, I mean, you can probably already look on the wiki, but there's going to be some additional rune multipliers that are going to be available as a result of this, I'm sure, like by default. And then also, if you get to 110 and use a potion to boost, you'll be able to access even higher levels, which will probably make other additional multipliers available, which is always cool. And they also say it's going to be about making the 110 or the tier 100 craftable magic weapons. So that's pretty sweet as well, to go in line with the updates to mining and smithing. Wood cutting and fletching, rune crafting is going to include for magic weapons. So, I mean, that sounds awesome. I'm really looking forward to that. I wonder if they're going to add on to the rune span or not with this update. I feel like they maybe should, but maybe they won't. I don't know. Because that's like a pretty common training method for AFKing. I don't know if they will be considering that. But additionally, in this same time frame, or in this same square, early 2025, they have Desert Quest number 2. So continuing on from the quest that's coming out at the end of this year. So who knows what that'll be? That sounds like it'll be cool. And then this, I was really, really excited to hear about. Combat Mastery Achievements from Easy to Grandmaster. And if you know anything about or have played Old School, you know these already exist in Old School. And I could not be more excited to see these coming to RuneScape 3. I hope they do them justice and make really cool and interesting ones for all the bosses, but I cannot wait for that to come out. I am definitely going to be going for full completion of all the Combat Mastery Achievements here on my hardcore. Maybe I'll even do it on my main as well to try and figure out strategies for certain ones. I mean, I simply could not be more excited for such. It's a small thing on the roadmap, but that is something I am super looking forward to. And also, you can maybe expect guides from me on combat achievements that are difficult. I'm really looking forward to jumping into the guide side of things once again, especially when I get on my group Ironman and can make quest guides and stuff. Something I mentioned in my last video, if you're interested in hearing more about that. So that's the first block of 3 that they have for 2025. The next one goes into spring. So that one, the first one is like in winter for about 2/3 of the block, and then 1/3 of it is in spring. That obviously doesn't necessarily mean anything in terms of when the updates are actually coming out, but those are the ones that are coming more towards the January, February, March timeframe, and now we're moving into the actual spring timeframe, March, April, May, whenever. So this one, the first block here, the titular square, the big update for this section is just called Skilling Update, Skilling Rebalance. And this one was really vague, even in the video. He said that they are looking to address people who are hoping skilling could be competitively profitable, adding new things and rebalancing old things. It's super vague, but it's a big, huge update according to the map. I mean, that's on the same level as like, Group Ironman, the Sanctum, the Skilling Boss, all those big updates. So I'm really curious to see what they do here and how that knock-on effect works for Ironman, because obviously you would think if they're looking to make skilling more profitable by changing skilling, the only real way to do that is to make materials come in more quickly, I would assume. I don't really know. I honestly have no idea how they're going to do this. I'm really interested to see more information about that as it comes. Very interestingly vague at that point. We'll then have RuneFest on March 1st and 2nd. So I will, of course, be covering any more information. I'm sure they'll, or I assume they will be having an additionally updated roadmap for more of 2025 at RuneFest. That's going to hopefully expand in this same format. I'll really look forward to that. So yeah, cool to see that they have that on here. And then also in this section, we have another 110 skill, which will be 110 crafting. So that is, again, very, very interesting to see how quickly they are planning to go with these 110 skills. Crafting is going to be the next one. And that, they mentioned, will be so that they can bring mage and range in line with mining and smithing and melee. You'll be able to make top tier mage and range armor, just like how you can make the primal and stuff for mining and smithing. So really looking forward to that as well. That sounds like a pretty big change in the crafting department. I don't really know though. Depends what kind of additional trading methods they add and things like that. That one's kind of interesting because crafting has always been a bit of a different skill in terms of there's a lot of different things you can do to train depending on your budget and things like that. So like, are they going to add a new gem? I mean, probably not, but yeah, I mean, I don't know. Who knows what they're going to add with that as far as training methods and what are you even going to make this new armor out of is another question, because it's not like they're adding changes to some other skill to support that. I don't know. That one's pretty interesting. Additionally, the Easter event, the Blooming Burrow, will be returning for 2025. This is the one that I did not play. I didn't play the 2024 version for this. I wasn't around during the event for this one. I wasn't playing the game. So I'll be looking forward to jumping into that. It'll, of course, come with another seasonal quest, and we'll see how that one goes. And then the last thing that's on the actual roadmap is the Desert Finale quest. So it's going to be a 3-part quest, one the end of this year, one beginning of next year, and then this one they said was midway through the year, quote unquote. So I assume that means probably May or June timeframe, because this is still technically under the spring banner. There's nothing that goes into summer, but he did say midway. I think it was Mod Ryan who was talking for this part. And that's going to be the Desert Finale quest, and that's going to come with a new boss fight, and that's going to be a boss fight against Amasket herself. So that is going to be really interesting to see how that plays out. Amasket is a goddess, so obviously when we were fighting Zamorak, who is a god. I don't know if I feel like she's probably not on the same level of power as Zamorak in terms of the lore, but I wonder if there's going to have to be a similar sort of lore reason that we're able to fight or somehow defeat, or in Zamorak's case, banish them. I wonder what that's going to circle around, but I'm always really hyped for new bosses, especially after their fantastically done Sanctum of Rebirth encounters. I'm really looking forward to seeing what they do with this. And I'm really also interested to see what the difficulty level ends up being with the new boss after all of these things are coming out. Now, who knows if the power level needle is really going to move all that much with 110 woodcutting, fletching, runecrafting, and crafting or not, but it will at least almost certainly make stronger gear more accessible to people who maybe can't afford the top end of stuff right now. So you'd assume that would maybe give them some justification to make the boss more difficult than maybe you would originally think because of all this stuff coming out in between. And I mean, a 4th Necromancy Conjurer, I'm sure, is only going to make the style a lot, even better for new players and people who are not as experienced with combat. So yeah, I'm really curious to see the more information about Amasket when it comes around, but that sounds super duper cool. And then at the very end, they gave us a little bit of a teaser, this section that says, and beyond. So who knows when, I mean, it does give some information. There's basically says there's going to be a new area expansion in late 2025. So who really knows what that means? I mean, the last time I can think of that they did something they called an expansion was Menaphos, right? I mean, I don't know if it's going to be that sort of scale with all that stuff coming out at once, or I mean, they gave zero information on that. It literally, that all it said was that text on the screen, and like someone opened up a map, and then it said on the text, new area expansion late 2025. So obviously, I'll be excited to see more information about that. Although I guess when did Anachronia come out after Menaphos? I have no idea. I don't know what they consider a new area, frankly, but we'll see. I'm really looking forward to that. But overall, great update to the roadmap. I really am looking forward to a lot of these updates. Honestly, the current thing I'm probably most looking forward to right this second is the solo skilling boss next month, but I'm also extremely excited to jump into Group Ironman whenever hardcore mode is released, and the combat mastery achievements sound super cool. I'm super interested in the new quests, the new 110 skills, and what they're going to add. I mean, overall, I'm really looking forward to a lot of these updates in the game, and I'm really happy with Jagex's communication and ability to continually update this roadmap going forward. Really hoping we see another one at RuneFest, and then I'll be pretty solidly happy with the performance as long as we are actually getting these updates as they're listed here. So if if we get all these updates that are in this filled all the way up to RuneFest, then I mean, I feel like they have really turned over a new leaf at that point. But even still, just having the roadmap we had already and having pretty much all of it be fulfilled up to now is already a really great step in the right direction from what they were doing before. So fantastic job by Jagex, and really looking forward to a lot of these updates. I hope you guys will be excited to see them as well and see the content from me going forward. I hope that you guys checked out the video. If you didn't see it, because they did give a little bit of maybe some small tidbits that I missed to mention in here. Let's see. They say, I actually just realized that there's some additional information below the roadmap here. I didn't look at this post exactly, but they say in late 2025, you'll be embarking on a journey to new lands in our new area expansion. This product is in its absolute infancy, and in the coming weeks, we'll be asking you for some initial feedback on what you want out of the experience of a new area. So that's very interesting to, they're going to maybe have a poll or just ask for feedback on what we're looking for from a new area. I'll definitely be interested to see what they ask about that. The skilling profitability is an overall section here. So yeah, they do say skilling has increasingly felt less competitively profitable than bossing, and it's clearly like us to close the gap. In 2025, we'll be dedicating a content-sized project toward addressing this, either introducing new or by taking an extensive look at the balancing of existing content. So yeah, I already talked about that, of course, but a little bit more information there. Very curious to hear more about that. 110 rune crafting, powerful endgame magic weapons, 110 crafting for high tier armor for the 3 original combat styles, the quests, Easter. Let's see what they say about the combat achievements here. We know many a PVMer have looked enviously at the combat mastery achievements of old school, so we're bringing our own take on them to RuneScape. Prepare to test your talents against a suite of new challenges to prove your bossing prowess. This update is all about returning to bosses across the history of RuneScape and executing specific types of kills to demonstrate your mastery. We can't wait to see the talent of the bossing community. I'm so excited for that. That's going to be so cool. And then a mascot will be targeted as an end game level boss encounter. They say right here, end game level. Very interesting. I guess Nakatra is probably considered end game level, isn't it? But either way, that's good to hear. Mid 2025. They confirm right here, Necromancy's 4th Conjure will drop on September 2nd. So that's coming in just a few weeks. So that sounds pretty cool. Who knows what... I'll obviously be covering that in a video. But that's good. I'm glad I started scrolling down here. The Ode of the Devourer quest is then coming on September 16th. And the Gate of Elidinus is on the 23rd. Very excited for that. The new Slayer Helm is early October, the new Slayer Helm item. Okay, Group Iron Man. Let's see, did they say anything new in this section about it? You and up to 4 friends, group storage, journey achievements, blah, blah, blah. Will be cosmetics, milestone capes, yeah. Okay, a late October to early November is when they are targeting for Group Iron Man. Okay, and then woodcutting, fletching, late November, early December. Yeah, so this is kind of what I thought. Level 100 range weapon. Oh, new hatchets, plural there. New level 100 is a masterwork range weapon. Desert Quest 1 in December. Yes. And yeah, fantastic job by Jagex. So that's going to be it for this one, you guys. Definitely let me know your thoughts in the comments. What update are you most excited for on this roadmap? I simply cannot wait for pretty much all of them. And I will, again, be back to making videos quite much more regularly now. And I'll see you guys for the next one. Peace out.